we all have baggage. So when we all have baggage and we know we have baggage, what I help people do is help people put the baggage on the table, open it up, lay it out, unpack everything, understand what's there, get the tools you need to understand what's there, how it got there. And then when you pack your baggage back, because it's probably not going to go away in the snap of a finger, you have the tools that you need, and you can walk into a relationship and go, hey, listen, this is my baggage. I'm willing to take ownership for it. There's going to be stuff that comes up that's going to poke at these different beliefs that I have, but I have the tools, and if you could be patient with me, I'm willing to work through them.
Welcome to yourbrilliance.com. I'm your host, Amy Waterman. Have you ever thought that nothing is going to get you a decent relationship? You have tried everything that everyone says you're supposed to do. You're fun, flirty, feminine, and nada. Your online dates aren't even worth the time it took to shave your legs. It's tempting to swear off dating entirely. But our guest for today does not want you to do that. She's got a unique strategy that turns dating from frustrating into fun. Nadika Viswakula is an international love coach who helps men and women rediscover their inner joy. She helps her clients break free from the blocks keeping them from love and attract abundance, both financial and romantic, into their lives. Welcome, Nadika.
Hi, Amy. Thank you for having me today.
So I really have to ask you this question straight off. You call yourself the naked love coach. And in my mind, I go in the wrong direction there. What does being naked mean in your work?
You're not the only one. We have been conditioned to think that it's this naughty word. And I think it's good to play and have fun. So let's make it a little naughty. But we can also rewire our brain and stretch our brain and see it in different ways. So for the purpose of my business and my branding and what I do with clients, I use the word naked to get them to peel back their layers and their masks, all the things that we've been told and taught that we are. We've been labeled things, our name, our job title, our relationship status means something about us, our financial status means something about us, which is untrue. So what I help people do is peel back their layers, understand where their programming has come from, and really learn to love and connect to who they truly are beneath all of the masks. Like, really, what is our passion? What makes me feel really happy? What elevates my joy? Not because someone told me I needed to do something to be something.
That is so perfect, because I really think that one of the biggest issues we have with dating is putting our masks on before that first date, because we have taught ourselves to believe that who we are is not enough. Who we are is the reason that we haven't been able to attract love. So the only way we can get someone interested in us is to create a socially pleasing mask that fits this template of what we think men want.
Exactly. So I've created a little acronym for naked. So I'll read it out to you. So the N is for no more masks. You're ready to come undone. The A is always choosing to live from love and letting go of fears through love and compassion. If I have love and compassion for someone else, I can have love and compassion for myself. And that is what we're working towards. The K is for knowing, a true inner knowing, learning to trust your inner guide and not your conflicting inner thoughts. E, elevate your consciousness, tap into your inner guides, and trust that you are being guided on this journey called life. D, deepen your understanding of who you are and what your unique purpose is here on earth. So that's my acronym for naked, and we can go into a little bit further with during our time together on like what exactly that means a little bit more.
So I love that, because some things that aren't in your acronym are learning how to send the perfect flirty text message, learning how to read a man's body language, learning how to dress with the perfect amount of sexiness so that he thinks you're girlfriend material and not a one-night stand. Like, all of those things that we have been taught to believe are important are actually not as important as, and I love this with your work, you're rediscovering, it's rediscovering your inner joy. Like you teach that everything flows from being able to connect with your joy. How does that work?
Well, I just want to reiterate what you said. So there, to me, I don't believe that there is a cookie cutter mold. So what works for me may not work for you. And the reason is because we're individuals and we're wanting to be in relationships with other individuals. So on one level, like if you want to go really, really deep, we're all one. So some people believe that we're part of the oneness and that we're souls. But the truth is that we're humans. And we each have a personality, we do have a name, we have different colored hair, we have different preferences as humans here. And as we meet here as humans to be in romantic relationships, what you prefer will not be what I prefer. And so if I do exactly what you do, I'm not going to get the same result, because do I want the same guy that you want? Not necessarily. It's not a cookie cutter mold for finding, I don't want your man specifically, you know? So just knowing that there's someone out there for me uniquely.
Yes, I cannot say how important I think that is. I think this is one of the drawbacks of generic advice in general. What we're doing is we're speaking to averages, and what the average man wants is probably not what the guy sitting in front of you wants. And I love the fact that with your work, you allow every person to customize their attraction, their love to who they are inside.
Yes. And there are some things that we could do sort of that as general practices for ourselves. Like I said, we'll go into a little bit more, but just like elevating our joy, those are general practices that we could do that then sort of pour into all the different areas of our life.
So I'm going to go back just a moment. I know that this has been a journey for you to get to the place where you've had these insights and you've been able to create the life of your dreams. But before, back when you were starting out in love and romance, it didn't work out that easily for you. I know you had some difficult early relationships. How did those experiences help you come to these insights today?
So one thing I will out myself on is at that time when I was out there dating and I was constantly sort of having these failed relationships, I was leaving, I'll share with you, I was constantly left feeling abandoned, feeling alone, feeling taken advantage of. And those are my own, that's my personal experience. So if that resonates with you, that's totally okay. But if it doesn't, that's totally okay too. And the thing that I didn't have the awareness of at that time was that I was the common denominator. And this is a big one. So it was a hard pill to swallow that when I was working with people and I was the client and I was working with coaches and healers and guides, that I was the common denominator attracting these common experiences. The person doesn't need to be the same. It's that the experiences are bringing up the same emotions for me. And those emotions are not brand new. I had them before I met any of them.
So this is really important because what it's teaching us is that if we heal our patterns, we shift who we then attract.
Exactly. That's exactly it. We're only ever attracting our mirror image. So if I'm constantly meeting someone who is, if my belief is that I'm abandonable, then I have this aloof guy that isn't showing up at a level 10 and giving me all of this attention and being attentive and being in their integrity and showing up when they say they're going to. But see, I get to do the small tweak inside of myself. And then that guy no longer is interested in me, because remember, it's just like a toddler. If you swear and you react, then they keep swearing because we're looking for that reaction. And the thing is the inside of the unhealed inner child of me is looking to be abandoned on a subconscious level. So I keep attracting this guy who's showing up aloof. Meanwhile, the other guy's waiting over here right under my nose, but I can't even see him.
So how does that naked acronym, how do those different points help us then heal our patterns and start attracting the abundance and the joy and all the good stuff?
So what I help people do, just as I mentioned before, when I was in those dating scenarios, I also wasn't aware that I was the common denominator, and that I wasn't aware of my role in attracting these men. So what I help people do is I help people through their own everyday life experiences, wherever you're hitting a challenge, you're hitting a block, we work through it. It doesn't have to be around romance. It could be around finances. It could be around just your own inner joy. It could be around achieving a goal. If there's a block there, it's all linked. Everything's linked to everything else within our life. So if there's a block, let's look at that block. Let's peel back the layers. Let's understand what the core belief is. Let's understand what's blocking it, and then remove the block, which is what I do. I do some energy work as well. And then once people have the awareness, how I explain it is we all have baggage. So when we all have baggage and we know we have baggage, what I help people do is help people put the baggage on the table, open it up, lay it out, unpack everything, understand what's there, get the tools you need to understand what's there, how it got there. And then when you pack your baggage back, because it's probably not going to go away in the snap of a finger, you have the tools that you need, and you can walk into a relationship and go, hey, listen, this is my baggage. I'm willing to take ownership for it. There's going to be stuff that comes up that's going to poke at these different beliefs that I have, but I have the tools, and if you could be patient with me, I'm willing to work through them. And you really can grow in a partnership that way.
What's so good about what you just said is that it doesn't mean that because we have baggage, we have to write ourselves off. Right. I know that some of the dating advice out there tells you straight off, men don't like women with baggage. You go on online dating sites, men write, no baggage, please. And so it's really refreshing to hear someone say the truth, which is that we all have baggage, and it doesn't make us less than. It's how we carry it that matters.
Exactly. It's our awareness of it. When we don't know that when we are not willing to acknowledge we have baggage or to even look at it, we do appear as a train wreck. We're just out there just spewing our beliefs here and there. And that's what looks like a train wreck. And that's probably, if you're at that level, then I probably would suggest the same. It's probably not the healthiest time to be out there dating. But if you've done some self-awareness work and you've really kind of delved in, everyone has baggage. And it's just, let's find someone that's going to help us unpack, and they're going to have baggage. We're going to have baggage. And for sure, you're going to attract someone energetically that is aligned with your core belief system. So they will, like I said, you'll attract someone who's your mirror image, which means they will know how to poke those belief systems that you have, but not in a negative way. It's so that we can evolve and heal it. We're here for evolution as humans. So it's not a negative thing. We are going to energetically attract someone that's going to challenge us, and that's a good thing. If we can choose to just hold hands and go on this three-legged race together.
So I want to go back to the joy thing, though, because one of the things you had said earlier is that everything is interrelated. So we think that our love issues are in a little box. That's our love lives. It doesn't affect our relationships with our family. It doesn't affect, how we're doing at work. Everything's related. And I know for you, joy is a really core piece of that.
Yes. So I mentioned this, I don't want to go into it too much, but I have an early childhood background. And what we learn is to nurture children in their play, and in play-based learning, which is just, if you watch a child, they're so curious. They're so playful with whatever's around them. They could literally find a piece of lint on a carpet. If you put an infant on the floor for tummy time, they will find a piece of lint and be entertained with that to a level 10 of entertainment for that period of time that they're enjoying it. And I feel like if we can learn to practice to do that, when I'm eating my food, am I really being present? And am I enjoying all the different flavors and all the love that's been put into preparing this meal? Am I actually experiencing all the different elements of it? I feel like we're so focused and we're on a high speed, just getting things done and not practicing being mindful. And so the play-based part of it is I want to encourage people to go out there and play, like even within your work. But if within your work is too much of a challenge right now, find whatever is that's playful for you, whether it's painting, dancing, just going for a walk outside and just like taking pictures. If it's photography, just go out there and start taking pictures. I work with a lot of people that are so creative, but because they're so busy in their day-to-day life, that creative part of themselves gets pushed to the back burner.
Yes, I just want to say that statement there, we're busy all the time, really struck home for me, because I know one of the big issues for a lot of people is that dating is too much work. They've got busy lives. So when they go on a date, they want to know immediately whether it's going to work out. They approach it from that busy place of something they've got to get done, tick the box. But how many of us go on a date feeling playful?
Totally. And that's one of the key things that I tell people when they go on a date. I don't believe in it being so serious. Like, I don't necessarily need for it to be a checkbox. Like, let's see if this person's going to be my future husband or wife. That's so serious sometimes. And sometimes people get nervous just building up to that because it's, they're big shoes to fill. But it's like, how about if I just go out and enjoy this person's company for whatever it is that they have to offer. It's not like it's not like they have to be your husband or wife after a first date. It's not like they have to be anything after a first date. There's just like, we put so much pressure on ourselves, and dating can be such a fun experience because one of the exercises that I give my clients is go out and actually spend time with the people that are in your community, and they don't have to be romantic. Like, I say to write a list of your ideal, like how you feel, how someone makes you feel. So it could be like, when I spend time with my dad, he makes me feel a special way, and I really enjoy that. So I write that down. And when I write that down on a list, and I have an ongoing list with all the people I spend time with for me, it's because I'm heterosexual, I'm attracted to men. I would do that with the men that I spend time with, whether they're friends or family or dates. And whatever I think that I really appreciated from them, it could be how they dressed. It's not superficial. There's no judgment. It's that you appreciate those things. And on an energetic level, you've now created someone who actually makes you feel the way that you love to feel. And it's not a checklist thing. On an energetic level, you're drawing someone in that elevates your frequency, because joy is a feeling. So when I feel joy because my dad, did an act of service for me, he cooked my favorite meal for me, I write that down. That elevated my joy. When I see someone and they're dressed really well, when I look at him, that elevates my joy. I write that down. And again, it's not what I want someone to do, it's how I want someone to make me feel. Now, I'm in charge of my feelings. But if something naturally makes me feel joyful, I write that down. So then I start to be aware of what actually enhances my joy. Is it a specific kind of coffee? Or is it that he brought me flowers? Is it that he was well groomed? Is it that he smelled good? Is it, it could be a gazillion things. Does it matter to me that he opened the car door? Yes, it elevated my joy. I'm going to write this down. And so you start to realize all the things that elevate your joy naturally.
I cannot tell you how beautiful that is, because I know the one thing men say so much is what makes them feel so good inside is being appreciated. And when you do that exercise, I can imagine that it trains you into a habit of really appreciating men.
Yes. And that goes to the kind and compassion part too, right? Because who are we being in order to attract who we want to share our lives with? It's that matching, that leveling up too, right? So
if you think that you would like to learn more, we have a link for you. Just go to yourbrilliance.org/Nadika. That's yourbrilliance.org/NADIKA. Thank you so much, Nadika, for coming onto the show. And I wondered if you had any last message you would like to leave our viewers with.
I just want to encourage you all to go out there, play, have fun, tap into that childlike side of yourself, and be carefree. Who cares what everyone else thinks? It's all about you. So go spread the love and the joy.
Thank you so much. And thank you out there for watching. Did you have any aha moments during this interview like I did? If so, let us know what you're going to take away in the comments. And for more interviews like these, make sure to subscribe to Your Brilliance TV here on YouTube. And then make sure to check us out at yourbrilliance.com for more tips and insights on how you can live your most brilliant life. See you next time.